Hi, I'm Katie Fontana with ZTV, and we're at the momentous groundbreaking ceremony for the Chatwal Lodge in beautiful Bethel, New York. Known as the Jewel of Manhattan, the Chatwal brand has been offering the quintessential urban hotel experience for luxury travelers in the heart of New York since 2010. Now, for the first time, Mr. Sant Singh Chatwal, the esteemed hotelier, is introducing his five-star luxury brand as a private countryside retreat in the heart of the Catskill Mountains.
Thank you so much for coming all the way to this function. When I came to this part of the world, Catskill, I used to remember Kuchar's place, seeing I've been in this country only 43 years, and coming and seeing where you get the inspiration is coming to Bethel Art Performing Center. I'm so glad, Alan Gary, you are a dear friend. You had a vision to bring something to this part of the world, Bethel. When you talk about this part of the world, Bethel is Alan Gary. That's where you got the inspiration. And what exactly has done to this whole area, that's where the inspiration came. And second inspiration came from Steve Dubrowski. Having in this area 28 years, I met him, found him very interesting, his career. We talked about it. First of all, I brought my good friend Subhash Chandra. He could not make it, but today Sid Pava, who's the CEO of the Yo1, he's over here. We told him, I said, look here, you got to look, there's one area in the United States, a sleeping area, which is on the Catskill. I said, I got to bring you first Bethel. I show the Bethel. He had the honor to meet Alan Gary. And then I showed him, of course, I said, come and look at the whole area, what is happening. And he is the one who came forward to have old Kuchar's place turn into Yo1, most successful. Casino came later on. But what we are looking forward with under the leadership of Steve Dubrowski, who's our partner, he's a great inspiration. We thought that this is something which we would like to bring, and not far from Manhattan. And our vision is to bring Chatwal Lodge. And Chatwal Lodge, I tell you, when New York City, I wanted to open the Chatwal Hotel in the west side. Most of the advisors, hotel consultants, they said, no, this is not the right location to open a luxury hotel in that location. Your Times Square is not the right area. I did not believe in them. I believe in my heart and feeling that we can bring something very unique. We hired the best designer, best architect, best team. Today, I'll proudly to say the Chatwal Hotel, by Condoners magazine, we are #1 in New York City, and #3 in the United States, and #38 the best in the world. The way we did the Chatwal Hotel in New York City, we are talking about going back 98, 99, we got a place and opened 2010, took us a lot of time to build it. Seeing this place, seeing his vision, this something with Alan Ducasse, #1 chef in the world. I know Alan Ducasse going back 19 years. When I met his good friend Jean-Louis Peredan, we opened the restaurant with him in the Time Hotel. He's a chef which is very well recognized all over the world. We brought him over here to show the place. And he mentioned one thing, Chatwal, I know you for 19 years. I'll do this restaurant, but that restaurant will be talk of the town and the talk of the world. Only one condition. You cannot touch in this house anything. Steve, You remember that? So that was one condition. Don't touch. This is a very touchy. But I must promise you that it will have a nice facility, a very good dining hall. We'll bring something talk of the town. We bring a lot of employments. We'll have naturally organic food. But all I can assure you, this will never be done without the cooperation of the local authorities from Bethel community. I really thank you so much for all of you. We are here today to your town to make you very proud. And also I must mention, of course, we'll have a lot of number of rooms. It will be very high-end thing. And our connection to the spa, it will be Yo One. Yo One is the one which we are connected. They'll be providing the spa services with all your cooperation to bring something to make the Chatwal Lodge #1 in the United States.
It is, Chapin Estate is very special. It has 2,000 acres of pristine waters, has trails, hills, eagles, wildlife. We've always thought that there was something better we could do for Chatwal. There was something for the Chatwal Lodge. There was something better that we could do for the Chapin Estate. And what we were able to do was to put the Chatwal Lodge together with the Chapin Estate, and ultimately is going to make a very, very special place.
Luxury is not just a thing. It's not a commodity. It's a value. It's character, it's conviction, it's courage. It's not compromising your integrity, not compromising, not settling for mediocrity. We are really excited to bring in Ducasse Paris, as our partners. Founded by Alain Ducasse, who has the highest number of Michelin stars in the world, 21 to be precise, a very difficult feat to achieve.
And the way we have crafted, molded, shaped this land, so there's these beautiful moments, almost like a fine book, where you have to walk and explore chapter to chapter in order to understand the book. You find your own moment across these beautiful lands, so it's as much an experience about the land as the buildings themselves. It is truly Chatwal, nowhere else.
The first thing I realized as an accountant was that you have to always take care of your assets. That's the most important thing. And ladies and gentlemen, there is no better asset than your own health. The health is your real asset, and that's what we do at Yo One, that we ensure that we bring wellness to everybody who comes over there. The second thing that I learned was that the assets and liabilities have to match all the time. There has to be a balance. And this is what I think a vision of Mr. Chatwal, Steve, Alan, and everybody is, that we as humans, as individuals, as community, has to live in balance with the nature.
It's going to be a great addition for the town of Bethel. In Bethel, we have always favored green type building, especially new homes and businesses that have the least impact on our natural environment. Chapin Estates is a perfect example of quality building while always maintaining the beauty of our area. Also, this new resort will be bringing full and part-time jobs, both during construction and after it opens. Finally, the new tourists and visitors, they don't only spend money here, they create a vibrancy and an excitement, which adds greatly to the existing quality of our community.
Mr. Chatwal, thank you so much for choosing our beautiful Sullivan Catskills. We're so proud of it. The world has all looked at us and is starting to bring us back a renaissance. We have so many iconic locations here with Bethel Woods. Mr. Gary, thank you for all you've done for us.
I met you first at the New York State Assembly. We went and we visited Paul Francis, and I had the great pleasure of introducing you on the floor of the New York State Assembly. Alan, you've done remarkable things for Sullivan County, and you know what? We used to say it's a great place to live and work and raise a family, and it truly is, so thank you so very much.
You're watching the momentous groundbreaking ceremony for the Chatwal Lodge in Bethel, New York. I'm going to take a short break and we'll be right back. Mr. Sant Singh Chatwal, you've been in this industry for a while. Today was quite a momentous occasion. Can you tell us a little bit about what's happening today?
I think something most interesting thing, this was a big challenge for us to come and make a new product like Chatwal Lodge. And we did quite a good research. First of all, this is less than 2 hours from Manhattan. Secondly, it's a 2,500 natural beauty, 2,500 acres of land. Thirdly, this house is very unique. Fourthly, we are right on the lake, which is 1,000-acre lake, which is 100 feet deep. There are very few things. But whatever we learned with the success of the Chatwal, New York, #1 in New York City, #3 in the United States, number 38 in the world, give us the opportunity that we should do Chatwal Lodge, which has a huge potential. And most important thing is we have the most important chef, Alan Ducasse, the real friend, whom I know him for 20 years. He's 21-star Michelin chef. He's going to be our partner. And then this is something, when you are the top chef in the world with you, you're the top location, you have top product, we want to make sure as the Chatwal Hotel in New York City, #1 and #3 in the United States, Chatwal Lodge will be #1 in the United States.
Thank you. That's very, very exciting. There was a lot of talk about luxury today and what that means to different people. What is your thought on luxury and the Chatwal brand?
I think the luxury is easy to talk, but luxury provided a lot of services, a lot of quality. It has to have a unique design, location, the product. And I think from that point of view, we picked up the best designer and the architect behind it, Nunzio, who's really very creative guy. Like we had Thierry Despont, #1 designer in New York City for Chatwal Hotel. He's the one who has a great experience. He put his heart into that. This is going to be a very unique project because we are having different type of tents, luxury tents over there. We have treetop rooms over there with a great view. And nobody had done like treetop and with the tent, something unique thing, which we are trying to create.
And I understand you're going to take the brand into other locations internationally. Anything that you can tell us about today?
I think this Chatwal Lodge itself has a huge potential as a lodge itself. There's a big shortage in the United States. I see there's a huge potential for this thing over there going forward. As already the Chatwal Hotel, which we are in New York City, which we opened only about 8 years back, we are already having 2 projects in Mexico. We have 2 projects coming up in Spain. I think the Chatwal Lodge has even much more opportunity than the Chatwal Hotel itself because there's a big shortage of lodges, unique lodges, a countryside atmosphere in the United States.
Chapin Estate was born with the idea of having a very high level of rustic design that people can enjoy. It's sort of a throwback to the great camps of the Adirondacks or the great lodges of the Northwest. And we have built, maybe 180 magnificent homes in here for people so far. And this hotel was always one of our pet projects. For 14 years, we worked on trying to put together a hotel, boutique hotel on property. And we have never been able to do it until I met Mr. Chatwal and Jay Stein.
Well, that's a great segue because we're here for the groundbreaking ceremony. I heard from all of you earlier today, and I was hoping maybe you could tell us a little bit more about what it's been like to work with Mr. Chatwal and bringing his namesake luxury brand to life.
It's incredible to work with him. I've been sort of working on my own most of my life. And I knew I couldn't pull a hotel deal off myself. And with his expertise and his background and his stick-to-itiveness and attention to detail, I think it helped me remarkably in putting together whatever we can here.
You're watching the momentous groundbreaking ceremony of the Chatwal Lodge on ZTV. Now I'm going to take a short break. Be right back. Joining me now is Mr. Jay Stein, Chief Executive Officer of Dream Hotel Group. How are you today?
Great, Katie.
What does it mean to you to have this sort of exciting luxury product in the Catskills, sort of an area that you grew up knowing so well when you were younger?
Yeah, it's a great area. Beautiful weather. There's nothing like the scenery, and you see it here in the video. But you know, it's only 90 miles from Manhattan, so for an executive or a family from the tri-state area to be up here in an hour and a half, completely away from what they're used to get your phone off and put on a pair of jeans, but to be able to stay in a luxury environment, truly in the wilderness, we think it's going to be just somewhere where people want to visit, come time and time and again. A couple, families, corporate retreats, just perfect for all of them.
What is one of your favorite recreational activities that we could expect to see in 2020?
Well, just the lakes we have here, the Toronto Reservoir and Swinging Bridge. So to go out and do kayaking at sunrise or at sunset, I think to me is just the ultimate. To get on the water, it's still, it's serene. The weather is beautiful here in the summertime to go out on the lake, and it's beautiful here in the winter to see it frozen. A lot of people don't like that desolate, cold winter feel, but when you're in the warmth of a beautiful cabin down by the lake with a raging fire and a nice hot toddy, nothing better.
Joining me now is Mr. Ashish Verma, Vice President of the Luxury Division for Dream Hotel Group. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Verma.
My pleasure, Ms. Fontana.
It's been an exciting day. I
Yes,
heard
it
you
has.
speak a lot about the Chatwal brand, and I was hoping you could tell us a bit more about the vision for the brand as it continues to grow, especially starting with the Chatwal Lodge here in Bethel, New York.
Absolutely. It's a very special opportunity. The Chatwal brand stands for the very best in luxury. And in the country, this is going to be our first experience which we're going to create for the world audience. It's going to be 21 keys in stage 1 and phase 1. And each of the accommodation is going to be exemplary with a virtual cottage, virtual feel of a villa. And they'll be lined up along the peninsula of Toronto Reservoir. And each one of those, like I said, will also have fireplaces, nice patios, outdoor showers, and some beautiful decor and design, true and authentic to rustic, refined theme.
Is there one thing that you're most excited about for the Chatwal Lodge that you could talk to us a little bit about? You mentioned Chef Ducasse and his team, as well as Nunzio and the architecture, and also a lot of wellness components. So there's a lot happening here. What can we expect to see in a couple of years?
I think it's a synergy of all those key ingredients, as Chef Ducasse would say himself, that it's all the best of ingredients coming together to create a great preparation, a great dish, and that's what the Chatwal Lodge is. It's going to have great wellness, like you mentioned. It's going to have great farm-to-table dining. We'll have a lot of activities which a guest can engage in, from horseback riding to fresh trout fishing, to golf nearby, to croquet, and just the coziness of fireplaces, and have our own library. Also for special events, for celebrations, for weddings, for corporate retreats, this will be an ideal getaway.
It's a real privilege and it's an honor and a responsibility to do something for a company like Dream that is aspirational, that never settles and is always looking for the next great chapter. And when I first visited the site, it was inspirational in itself. The beauty, the quality of the light, the way the trees whisper to you during the day, and it's really mesmerizing. So our thought was, how do we do something that can create a unique, fond, beautiful, quaint, personal experience, and yet still be you can celebrate with it in bigger groups. So it's this beautiful balance of nestling, burrowing into this landscape, finding yourself living quietly amongst the quietness. You kind of feel like there's an exotic play on a beautiful luxury resort. So we're thrilled about it. And the tree houses, the thing that's always really captured me here about this site are the trees. Mm-hmm. And we find ourselves living below the tree canopy. If you could live in the tree canopy, amongst the limbs, and I, so the roof doesn't come to the wall. The glass comes up and becomes the roof. So instead of just looking out, you're looking up at the majesty of this beautiful place that was created with great more skill than anything we can do. So it's a real fun project, but it is intense.
Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this sneak peek inside Dream Hotel Group's newest luxury destination, the Chatwal Lodge in the heart of Bethel, New York. I'm Katie Fontana with ZTV, signing off.